Welcome back. You're watching Kit Plus Live from BVE 2015. It's day one. How are you doing? Thanks to Den Laney and all his guests earlier. My name's Ben Baldwin, and just one guest this hour, and it is Mr. Chris Waddington from Newtek.
Hello.
Chris, how are you? Come on.
Thank you. I'm going to shake your hand.
Shake my hand.
So, mate.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You?
I'm all right, settling into day one of the show. You know how it is?
Yes.
So I think we better tell people, for those, I'm sure everybody out there who watches Kit Plus Live knows who Newtek are. Indeed, Newtek products switch the show with the very show that you're watching. But tell us about Newtek, first of all, before we go and talk about this new product that we've brought to BVE.
Okay, so Newtek is a company which has been around for over 25 years now, and we basically specialize in creating live video production systems. So taking, technology which traditionally costs a lot of money and making it more affordable and more accessible to people, so they can basically create their own TV show, they can create their amazing looking presentations, or ultimately they can just connect with people around the globe. And that's really what we are about as a company. And we've got various different products, obviously one of which we're going to talk about today, that enables people to be able to do that.
We are indeed going to talk about this product, which is called Talk Show. So tell us about Talk Show. Basically, it involves Skype. It involves Skype TX. You tell me a little bit about it, and then we'll delve in deeper.
Okay, great. So Talk Show is a product which has been co-developed by Newtek and Microsoft to be able to take Skype calls and bring them into a professional production environment. And traditionally, this has been quite difficult to do because there are over 300 million users, and I didn't know this number. I mean, this number is huge. 300 million active users of Skype a month. 300 million, whoa, a month? Yes, that are utilizing Skype every single month. And those people basically want to be able to call into a show. It may be that you want to bring in experts, you want to bring in eyewitnesses, you want to bring in reporters, you want to bring in the audience. And today, technology and television is changing, and then it's no longer just a presentation. For live, it can become a conversation. So you have that ability to have that conversation with the audience and to get the audience coming into a show. And that's ultimately what Talk Show does. It enables anyone to bring, to connect with all these people around the globe using Skype, and all they have to have is a Skype-enabled device. And they can call into, using Talk Show, they can call into a show, and they can participate in the experience.
So people have been saying to me, what's the TX bit, Skype TX? Is that's the bit that's in the box? Is that the software?
It is indeed. So you have, so Talk Show is a 1RU rack mount turnkey system, and that box obviously is a combination of hardware and software, and the software platform that the Talk Show unit is running is Skype TX. And Skype TX is a professional production grade, broadcast grade version of Skype, which basically provides all of the tools that broadcast professionals require, such as tally, return video, all of that stuff that ultimately we need in a live production environment, in professional production environments, but traditionally has not been available when you want to bring Skype calls in, because Skype as a platform, as a technology, has always been really designed for consumers, and now we, as professionals, we want to be able to bring this technology into a professional broadcast environment, and that's what the Skype TX software platform does. And then of course Newtek has partnered that with hardware that we've engineered, and we've also added some additional features and functionality on top as well, because obviously based on our production experience.
Now I should say we would have brought one here with us onto the sofa, however it is bolted to the Newtek stand live here at BVE 2015.
Yep.
So if you want to see it in action, get over to the stand, onto Newtek. You'll find it's rack mounted on there, and you can see all the software and the interface and all that going on. So just explain a little bit then, that the tally thing sounds excellent. So if I am the contributor who's sat at home, or I'm an expert, say I tell you what, I'm going to be a financial expert. I'm going to be a financial expert, and I'm going to be in my studio, in my financial house, and I'm going into a news channel somewhere. What do I see on my end?
Well, okay, so taking it into the studio, as a broadcaster, as a presenter, when you're in front of a camera, you may have, like we do here, multiple cameras, and we need to know which camera we need to look at. So to do that, we have a tally light. Really basic concept. So we know which camera we need to look at. I mess this up on occasion.
Well, we're demonstrating that right now.
But we generally would have tally lights. And so what we have in the capability of Talk Show is that we have that same capability in that we can basically, the caller, when they call in, and again, they call in from their device, so it can be a phone, it can be a tablet, computer, games console, interactive TV, whatever they're calling in on, they basically get a tally light, an indication of when they're on air. So so you don't have that scenario where they're staring at the camera or they're staring at their device and they don't know if they're on air or not. They say, am I on? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
None of that. We have a tally
Hello.
light coming back in. We'll basically send that back to the caller. So it's really simple, really elegant, and it's something that, as broadcasting professionals know, they expect to have that in a live production environment, but it's never been possible with Skype before.
Well, it's a good point, because if we were using the traditional, well, I say traditional, it's a computer, it's a laptop or whatever it is, and I'm calling into the studio via that, I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
And I believe not only do you get the tally, but am I able to hear what's going off down there?
We have full audio and video return. So again, people have been wanting to bring Skype calls into production, and people have been doing it. But traditionally, it involves a desktop version or the consumer version of Skype running on a computer, and there may be 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 different boxes to basically get the audio and the video from the Skype into the production and send it back. This is a fully integrated turnkey system, so it's one box. We basically spit out an SDI stream with embedded audio or analog audio if required, but we can also take a return feed, which again comes from your production system, and we can bring that back into TalkShow, and we basically send that back to the return caller. So full audio and video, full two-way communication in a full turnkey unit, which is really super simple to manage and operate.
I suppose the big thing about that is thinking from the point of view as a contributor. I'm sat there at the other end, and I've got the confidence because I know what's happening. I can hear what's going. It's not as if I've called in and then suddenly there's dead air, and then all of a sudden I hear the last few words of a presenter and bang, I'm in. But then they've also got the confidence in the studio as well.
Exactly, because there are additional, features and functions built into the Skype TX platform and TalkShow, which again are very important. So, for example, when we're dealing with Skype, when someone's going to be calling in, they're not running generally over a piece of copper like a traditional SDI cable. It's going to be coming in over an internet connection, and so there's a lot of technical information about that call as it comes in. So we can monitor, for example, what our connection rate is, so how good a quality connection do we have between the TalkShow and the caller, and obviously vice versa. We can monitor the bit rate of the video and audio is coming in on. So we can basically qualify all of the technical information to make sure that when we go to air, we are going to put out the best possible audio and video quality. And again, that's crucially important because, again, with the TalkShow system, we are taking the raw audio and video data as it comes in straight out of the call. We process it, so there are some additional benefits, some additional layers of production which we add to the call. So we'll color balance the video. We provide professional proc amp control. We have 7-band EQ for and compressor and limiter. So we will take the raw audio and video data. We make it sound as good as we absolutely possibly can, and we spit that out to the production system. And then we do all of that again on the return feed going back to the caller. So it really is a case of not only making Skype in a broadcast environment simple and elegant, but it's also making it easy to use, reliable, and also getting the best possible audio and video quality out of it. And ultimately that's key. I mean,
and that sticks with the tradition of Newtek as well, with those powerful tools that are inside the box. I mean, being able to color correct your incoming Skype is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned obviously you can monitor, the bandwidth and what the speed is and all that kind of thing. And TalkShow's got a neat little thing where it happens with, obviously with internet connections, it happens with satellite links. What if the internet connection does drop?
So if the internet connection drops, again, if you take the regular desktop version of Skype, if you lose sufficient bandwidth to continue a video call, the call will drop, and then of course it will try and re-establish that connection. But while that happens, you could end up with dead air. So the way that TalkShow functions is that if the bandwidth drops to a level where we can't sustain a good enough looking picture, we will switch over to audio, and then the TalkShow will gracefully switch over to a holding graphic. So you can basically have a headshot. Yeah. So you can have a headshot of the person. It could be a station logo. It could be whatever graphic you want to put in place. And then, of course, once that quality reestablishes or the bandwidth comes up to a certain level, again, TalkShow will gracefully switch back over to the live video. But the crucial thing is, the operator has complete control over when this happens as well. So they can decide, are we going to get back up to that level? In which case, do we decide to go to air with the quality that we have, or do we want to set a threshold and make sure that we have a sufficient quality level so we can always then deliver good, great looking video as well?
So you've got this box, you've got everything you need that's in it, you've got all the different controls. It sounds extremely professional. So how's it been received by the industry?
It's been overwhelming in many respects, to be honest. So we announced, or should I say, we launched the product at IBC last year, and we started shipping at the beginning of this year. But honestly, the response from industry has been phenomenal. We've had broadcasters, we've had news agencies, globally, all wanting to talk about talk show. And I mean, for us, that is absolutely, that is phenomenal. I mean, having that reception of that product has just been absolutely amazing for us. And we are just building as many of these units as we can because they are literally just flying out the door. I mean, you said that we have a couple bolted down on the booth. That's true, because otherwise they would be literally unbolted and they would be taken away by someone very, very quickly. So it's been fantastic. We're really, really pleased, ecstatic, in fact.
And I suppose it's going to change the way that producers and program makers can think about the way they bring these different contributors into their programs, but not only how they bring them in, but how they're going to run their production.
Oh no, certainly. I mean, like I said, you can have eyewitnesses that are calling in. You can have experts. You can have commentators. You can have the audience participation, and that's what's really great about the system, is that there's no real restriction in terms of who you can connect with, because all they have to have is a Skype account or a Skype device. It might be someone that you want to bring into a live show, they missed their plane, they missed their connection, we've all been there, they're stuck in the airport, but they've got their tablet, they've got a Wi-Fi connection, you can bring them straight into the show. It's that simple, and it's audio and video, and that's really quite crucial. To do that traditionally is expensive, it requires satellite uplinks, now we can just instantly connect with anyone.
I suppose that's the thing that I didn't think of it when I first thought that, because Skype, traditionally you think of as sat down at a PC or at your Mac. Mm-hmm. But of course with 4G, I mean even on 3G, but with 4G, a nice stable connection, the fact is you can have reporters reporting from the field with these things.
You can have reporters reporting, you can have eyewitnesses reporting. I mean, this is this is what's phenomenal. I mean, pretty much everyone nowadays walks around with a phone or a tablet in their pocket or on their person, and literally almost every single device now has the ability to run Skype. So in essence, you have people running around with an instant live video camera which can broadcast straight over the internet, come straight into talk show. We can make it look as good as we possibly can, and then we can send that out to the production as well. And that production system can be obviously a TriCaster, it can be whatever production system the broadcaster chooses to use.
So where are these broadcasters using them? Is it just in news? Are they putting them in certain satellite offices? How's it working?
Really, I mean, you can use them in a variety of different ways. I mean, ultimately, talk show can be used purely as a receiver, in which case you then have access to these 300 million people that can basically call into a show, and they can then obviously take that live video feed into their production. You can also have talk show at multiple locations, and we have people that are utilizing that workflow. So in essence, they're connecting multiple studios together, and they have another way of transmitting audio and video back as well.
So they've actually got a talk show unit. They've got the box, the rack mount, in both
multiple locations, multiple sites, either with the same country or across the globe. And again, yeah, the ability to basically broadcast. So you may have a production office over here in London, then you may have one over in New York, and you may have one in Australia. And if they're running talk show units, they can basically transmit audio and video data at very high quality, obviously bandwidth allowing, to connect multiple sites together. So I mean that's incredibly powerful, and it's never really been possible to do it at this price point. And like I said, to be able to do it reliably and to also deliver good quality audio and video as well.
All right, can we talk about the price point?
Yeah, we can certainly talk about the price point. Yeah.
Let's then. So for the unit,
the price point is $2,999. That's a special offer price until March 31st.
All right.
So that price point is available now. Like I said, the units are shipping. We have products physically available for purchase. And if anyone needs any more information, obviously they can come onto the booth over here at BVE. They can visit our website www.newtek.com. Yeah, we have loads of information on the website, or come and see us at the booth.
Superb, brilliant. Chris, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Kit Plus. Remember, you can go to the Newtek website, or of course, if you're here at BVE 2015, get yourself to the Newtek stand and have a look where we've securely bolted those talk show boxes, and you can have a look at the interface, get hands-on with that and lots of other kit. Den Lenny is in the wings. He's got plenty more guests coming for you throughout the day here at BVE, so stay right where you are.